How Michael Dell became wealthy, the untold story behind the CEO of Dell Laptop. What do you get when you mix a teenage Texan, a disassembled Apple computer, and a dream too big for a dorm room? You get Michael Saul Dell, a boy born to drill teeth, but destined to drill markets. From dodging parental expectations to building a tech empire from room 2713, this is the story of how one dropout rewired the rules of business. But wait, how did Dell go from selling PCs to executing the largest tech merger in history? Why did his laptop start catching fire in 2006? What made Wall Street tremble when he took on Carl Icahn in a corporate cage match? And who exactly is Kevin Rollins, the CEO who tried to steer the ship and got quietly thrown overboard? Michael Saul Dell entered the world on February 23, 1965, in Houston, Texas, to Lorraine Charlotte Langfan, a sharp-witted stockbroker, and Alexander Dell, a meticulous orthodontist. His parents had dreams of white coats and medical degrees. They pictured their son peering into molars, not motherboards. But Michael? He had other plans. While most kids were playing with Hot Wheels, Michael was tinkering with calculators and dreaming of IPOs. At age 8, he tried to take a high school equivalency exam, not because he was bored, but because he wanted to start his business career early. The school said, "You're too young." Michael said, "You're too slow." By age 12, Michael was investing his dishwashing money into stocks and precious metals. He wasn't just saving for a bike, he was building a portfolio. At 15, he got his hands on an Apple II computer. Most teens would play games. Michael? He disassembled it. Not out of rage, but curiosity. He wanted to know how it worked and, more importantly, how it could work better. He wasn't just a techie. He was a strategist. In high school, he sold subscriptions to the Houston Post by targeting newlyweds and new homeowners. He made $18,000 in one summer. That's not lemonade stand money. That's Wall Street hustle. In 1989, Michael married Susan Lynn Lieberman, a Dallas native with a heart as big as the Lone Star State. Susan wasn't just a partner in life, she became a partner in purpose. Together, they had 4 children and built a philanthropic empire. In 1999, they founded the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation, which has donated billions to causes like education, global health, and economic stability. Their motto? Helping children achieve their potential. Susan once said, "Michael doesn't just build computers, he builds futures." And she wasn't wrong. In 1983, Michael enrolled at the University of Texas at Austin as a pre-med student. But while others were dissecting frogs, he was dissecting PCs. From room 2713 in the Dobie Center, he began assembling and selling upgrade kits for personal computers. He noticed something. Traditional retail was bloated with middlemen and markups, so he cut them out. His strategy? Build to order. No inventory, no waste, just pure efficiency. Customers got exactly what they wanted, and Michael got exactly what he needed: profit. By the end of his freshman year, he had sold $80,000 worth of computers. In 1984, at age 19, he dropped out and founded PCs Limited. With just $1,000 and a vision, he launched what would become Dell Computer Corporation. Dell's business model was revolutionary. He offered customization, direct sales, and rapid delivery. No one else was doing it. By 1988, the company went public, raising $30 million and giving Michael the capital to scale globally. By 1992, he became the youngest CEO of a Fortune 500 company. His mantra? Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. That wasn't just a quote, it was a battle cry. Dell expanded into laptops, servers, and enterprise solutions. He built manufacturing plants in Ireland, China, and Brazil. By 2000, Dell was the world's largest PC maker, outpacing IBM, Compaq, and HP. It was the summer of 2006, and Dell was riding high until the laptop started catching fire. Literally. A defect in Sony-manufactured lithium-ion batteries caused Dell notebooks to overheat, triggering spontaneous combustion. One truck was incinerated after a Dell laptop exploded in the back seat. The owner, Thomas Forkeran, told reporters, "Somebody is going to wind up getting killed." Not exactly the brand endorsement Dell was hoping for. The recall? A staggering 4.1 million units, the largest in tech history at the time. Dell scrambled to set up a website for replacements. 80,000 customers signed up on day one. The cost? Estimated at $300 million. The damage to reputation? Priceless. Customer service complaints piled up. Forums flared with fury. And while Dell was dousing flames, Hewlett-Packard quietly snatched the crown as the world's top PC manufacturer. Kevin Rollins joined Dell in 1996 after working as a partner at Bain & Company, the consulting firm that helped Dell refine its direct sales model. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming president and COO, and in 2004, Michael Dell stepped down as CEO, handing the reins to Rollins. Michael said at the time, "Kevin is an outstanding executive," and for a while it seemed like a smooth transition. But the honeymoon didn't last. Under Rollins' leadership, Dell began to stumble. Customer service deteriorated, sparking the infamous Dell Hell blog movement. Market share slipped, and HP overtook Dell as the world's top PC maker. Product recalls plagued the company, including the massive 2006 battery recall. Stock performance declined. Rollins was the 18th highest-paid CEO in 2006, earning $39.3 million, while Dell's stock dropped 9%. Internally, Rollins pushed for aggressive cost-cutting and centralized decision-making, which alienated some senior executives. Morale dipped, innovation stalled, the company was losing its edge. In 2010, the SEC charged Dell Inc., Michael Dell, Kevin Rollins, and others with failing to disclose massive exclusivity payments from Intel. These payments, up to 76% of Dell's operating income, were used to artificially meet earnings targets. Rollins was directly implicated. In a 2004 email to Michael Dell, he wrote, "For 3 tutors now, Intel money has made the cuter, a bad way to run the railroad." He knew the company was relying on Intel cash rather than operational performance. Rollins paid $4 million to settle the charges. Michael Dell also paid $4 million. Dell Inc. paid $100 million. In January 2007, Rollins was ousted. The announcement was swift. His photo and bio were removed from Dell's website within minutes. Michael Dell returned as CEO, saying, "If you want to blame somebody, you can blame me too." But the message was clear. The founder was back to fix what had faltered. Rollins walked away with $48.5 million in expired stock options. He later focused on philanthropy and advisory roles, including founding the Rollins Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology at BYU. Michael returned like a general to the battlefield. His mission? Reinvent the company. He called it Dell 2.0. Lessons from the power shift. The Dell-Rollins saga is a cautionary tale. Vision matters. Rollins was a strategist, but Dell was the soul of the company. Transparency is non-negotiable. The SEC charges tarnished reputations. Leadership transitions are delicate. Even the smoothest handoff can unravel. Michael Dell reclaimed his company, launched Dell, and later executed the largest tech merger in history with EMC. Rollins, though brilliant, became a footnote in a founder's redemption arc. Dell 2.0 wasn't just a slogan. It was a full-scale transformation. Michael shifted focus from consumer PCs to enterprise solutions, cloud computing, and IT services. He hired top executives, revamped customer support, and streamlined operations. The company began acquiring firms like Perot Systems and SecureWorks. Dell was no longer just a PC maker. It was becoming a tech infrastructure powerhouse. In February 2013, Michael Dell announced his plan to take Dell Inc. private in a $24.4 billion deal. He partnered with private equity firm Silver Lake, offering $13.65 per share. His goal? Escape the tyranny of quarterly earnings and reinvent the company without Wall Street breathing down his neck. But not everyone was clapping. Enter Carl Icahn, the activist investor known for shaking up companies like Netflix, Apple, and Herbalife. Icahn smelled a bargain, and he didn't like it. He declared the offer an undervaluation and accused Dell's board of selling the company short. I agreed with the shareholders that he was not paying a fair price for Dell and that they were getting hosed, Icahn said. Icahn didn't just complain, he sued. In August 2013, he filed a lawsuit in Delaware's Court of Chancery to block Dell's board from changing the terms of the shareholder vote. The board had proposed moving the record date and rescheduling the vote, which Icahn claimed would favor arbitrageurs and tilt the election toward Michael Dell. He also tried to oust the entire 11-member board and replace it with his own slate, backed by Southeastern Asset Management. His goal? Force a leveraged recapitalization that would pay shareholders $14 per share and keep Dell public. Dell's board, meanwhile, revised the offer to $13.75 per share, and changed the voting rules. Absentee votes would no longer count as no votes. This was a tactical masterstroke. By September 2013, Icahn realized the odds were stacked. "We figured we can't win. It was just too difficult," he told CNBC. He dropped the fight, but not without a final jab. He called Dell's board a dictatorship and said the incident highlighted the need for better corporate governance. "We pride ourselves in setting examples for the rest of the world, and here we have dictatorship in our corporations," he said. Despite the defeat, Icahn walked away with a $2.2 billion stake and squeezed an extra $500 million for shareholders. Not bad for 8 months of grandstanding. Michael Dell, meanwhile, emerged victorious. In October 2013, Dell Inc. officially went private. He now controlled 75% of the company and had the freedom to rebuild it on his terms. In 2016, Dell merged with EMC Corporation in a $67 billion deal, the largest tech acquisition in history. This birthed Dell Technologies, a behemoth in cloud infrastructure, cybersecurity, and data storage. Michael's stake in Dell and VMware soared. By 2025, his net worth hit $151 billion, making him the 10th richest person in the world. Michael Dell is more than a businessman. He's a quiet disruptor, a strategic thinker, and a philanthropic force. Awards: Youngest Fortune 500 CEO, 1992, Time's Top 100 Most Influential People, multiple tech and philanthropy honors. Quotes: "Ideas are a commodity. Execution of them is not. Vision without execution is hallucination. You don't have to be a genius or a visionary or even a college graduate to be successful. You just need a framework and a dream." Michael Dell didn't just build a company. He built a movement. He faced obstacles, product recalls, market crashes, and boardroom battles, but he adapted, evolved, and thrived. Today, Dell Technologies powers governments, hospitals, and Fortune 500s. And Michael? He's still tinkering, only now it's with the future. Before you go, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the twists, turns, and tech triumphs of Michael Dell, or any of our other jaw-dropping stories, don't forget to follow us, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a moment of intrigue, drama, and brilliance. We've got more legendary tales coming your way, and trust me, you'll want front row seats. Stay curious, stay inspired, stay tuned. Next up, Oprah Winfrey.